On my wedding day, I was drugged by my stepsister Scarlett. She stole my bridal gown and took my place in the Harrison family's wedding sedan. When I awoke, I crashed the ceremony. Humiliated, Scarlett was confined to the chapel by our clan elders. Though Aaron showered me with affection after our marriage, everything changed during my difficult labor. The midwife ripped our child from my dying body as Aaron entered arm in arm with Scarlett. I'd have disposed of you sooner if Scarlett could bear children, he coldly stated. Scarlett cradled the newborn, sneering. Consider this brat your penance for humiliating me. Die knowing I'll raise it as my own. My last breath mingled with the infant's wails. I reopened my eyes to wedding music. The brides entering the sedan. Chapter 1, Rebirth. Mother, why am I here? I massaged my temples, feigning confusion before the stunned guests. A guest shrieked. Why is Ivy here? Who's in the sedan? Already time for the procession? I blinked innocently. Scarlett brought me sweet soup earlier, I must have dozed off. Aunt Zhao from the Johnson family tried slinking away. But my nurse blocked her. Wasn't that soup delivered jointly by you and Scarlett? Madam? I know nothing of this. Aunt Zhao stammered. Find Scarlett immediately, Mother ordered. I hid a smirk behind my sleeve. Where else would she be but in that wedding sedan? Servants returned pale-faced. Miss Scarlett's gone. Her attendants too. My maid Pearl sobbed. Miss Ivy's gown is missing. Could the bride be? A guest's murmur ignited uproar. The divorced woman stealing her sister's marriage? Shameless! Disgrace to the family! Father roared. Stop that sedan! Too late. Calculating the procession's progress, I knew they'd already reached Harrison Manor. Let them consummate their relationship, that's exactly what I wanted. Kneeling tearfully, I pleaded, Father, let it be. Scarlett's loved Aaron since first sight. She's desperate. I'll yield my place. Gasps erupted when I revealed Scarlett's secret infertility. Let all of London know the bride was barren. How long would the Harrisons tolerate such a daughter-in-law? Mother wept. Foolish child. This is your birthright. She glared at Aunt Zhao. You helped that scheming viper. Aunt Zhao simpered. Scarlett's your blood too. She and Aaron are truly in love. The ceremony's done, it's too late. Mother slapped her. 20 lashes. Lock her in the cellar. As guards dragged away the shrieking woman, a servant presented a jade pendant found in Scarlett's quarters, Aaron's token. Father's face darkened. So the Harrisons conspired in this charade? Very well. Ivy, shall we retrieve your rightful place? I shook my head. Their elaborate scheme proves their treachery. I won't marry such villains. Proud of you, daughter, Father declared. We'll annul this farce. At Harrison Manor, the newlyweds stood at the altar's edge when we arrived. Hold! Father's voice froze the crowd. Murmurs exploded. Is Ivy here? Then who's the bride? What's going on? Why are the bride's parents here? Are they planning to escort her all the way into the Harrison mansion? Aaron stared at me in shock. Ivy, how did you wake up so soon? His slip of the tongue instantly revealed their scheme to drug me. I sneered. Lord Harrison, you and Scarlett drugged me so she could steal my wedding. You never expected I'd wake up in time to crash your little charade. Did you? Gasps filled the hall as my accusation hung in the air. The Dowager Harrison rose abruptly. Madam Johnson, explain this instant. The veiled bride yanked off her crimson hood, face paling to ash. Sister. Scarlett? The Dowager's voice shook. Aaron, what is the meaning of this? Stepping forward, I addressed the stunned crowd. Though this disgraceful bride theft brings shame to the Johnson family, as Scarlett's sister, I must offer my congratulations. Turning to the Dowager, I continued coldly. Your son and my sister have been carrying on their affair, too cowardly to confess properly. So they drugged me and dressed Scarlet in my wedding gown. Even now, I can scarcely believe the great General Harrison would stoop to such treachery. Scarlet staggered back into Aaron's arms, her trembling hands clutching his ceremonial robes. He glared at me over her shoulder. Ivy, I'm sorry, but my heart belongs to Scarlet. We've already exchanged vows. I won't let her go. If you're reasonable, he added with infuriating calm, I'll take you as my honored concubine. You'll lack only the official title otherwise. You sisters shall share everything equally. Tears streamed down Scarlet's face as she collapsed dramatically at my feet. Please, sister. I never meant to steal your husband. But our love, let me serve him by your side. I'll treat you as my superior. I swear. I stepped back from her grasping hands. What touching devotion. If you truly cherished her, Aaron, why not marry her properly? Is the Johnson family's eldest daughter so unworthy of an honest proposal? He flushed. I feared you'd object. But if you accept now, we can all. Snatching the marriage contract from a maid, I cut him off. I decline. Since you've wed Scarlet, our engagement is void. May you two live happily ever after. The parchment shredded beneath my fingers, snowing fragments across the scarlet carpet. My mother turned to the ashen dowager with poisonous sweetness. How noble of Lord Harrison to wed a barren woman as his legal wife. Truly moving. The room erupted in fresh gasps. Barren? The dowager's jewels trembled with her shaking head. Scarlet crumpled like discarded paper, her darkest secret now public spectacle. I feigned shock. Oh dear. Didn't Scarlet tell you? Memories flashed of my past life, Aaron discovering her infertility, plotting to steal my unborn child, letting Scarlet pose as its mother after murdering me. How careless of her. My father's voice boomed across the hall. You schemed against your own sister and disgraced our family. Return home now to beg forgiveness before our ancestors. Or be cast out forever. Scarlet's tearful protest rang hollow. Father, am I not your daughter too? I only fought for my happiness. Then from this moment, he thundered, you are daughter no more. Guards retrieve all 120 bridal chests. Scarlet threw herself across the lacquered dowry boxes. These are mine. The crack of mother's palm against her cheek silenced the hall. Yours? The 100 chests I prepared for your own wedding weren't enough? Now you'd steal Ivy's 120? Dream on. As servants hauled away the treasures, guests buzzed with scandalized delight. A substitute bride? How brazen. In my house. We'd beat such a daughter to death. To think the Harrisons would scheme like common cheats. Scarlet's wails followed the procession. At least return my own dowry. I smiled icily. Dear sister. Have you forgotten? You're no longer a Johnson. Perhaps your mother can spare some coins, though I hear Madame Johnson's brothel earnings bought few luxuries. By dawn, all of New York society reveled in the Harrisons' disgrace. The next morning's bride ceremony proved even more disastrous, for without my carefully embroidered gifts for each Harrison elder, Scarlet arrived empty-handed but for her stolen wedding dress. The next morning, Scarlet awoke without even a change of clothes. Aaron had no choice but to send the housekeeper to purchase ready-made garments, along with shoes, stockings, and handkerchiefs for Scarlet's emergency use. The elders of the Harrison family glared at the late-arriving couple. Their displeasure deepened upon noticing the store-bought items. Does this bride look down on our family? Someone sneered. Who brings shop-bought handkerchiefs as greeting gifts? Disgraceful. What is she wearing? Such crude stitching. Another muttered. Did the Johnson family send their daughter off like paupers? Hadn't you heard? A voice cut through. She's no longer a Johnson. Yesterday, the patriarch publicly disowned her. This morning, the family removed Scarlet from the ancestral records. Tears welling in her eyes, Scarlet performed the ceremonial greetings. The matriarch coldly demanded, Is it true you're barren? Aaron interjected. Mother, I'll have royal physicians examine her. When she lived in Qingzhou. The climate. Enough. The Dowager Harrison's cane struck the floor. Scarlet. You're a twice-married woman. After last night's deliberations. We'll permit your stay. But Aaron carries our bloodline, we can't have a disgraced wife as Marchioness. My niece Jade remains unwed. Today. Before all. I declare her the true Lady Harrison. Aaron protested. Mother. The whole capital witnessed our vows yesterday. And the whole capital laughed at our humiliation. The matriarch's face darkened. Keep her if you must, as concubine. The Harrison title hinges on legitimate heirs. Choose, the Marquis VIII or this woman. Under Scarlet's pleading gaze. Aaron turned away. I'll wed Jade. You swore I'd be your only. Scarlet screamed. You promised me the Harrison jewels. How dare you? Her outcries changed nothing. Preparations began for Jade's wedding. When news reached me, I nearly laughed. This lifetime's twist, Jade entering the game, promised exquisite chaos. The Harrisons' cherished niece. Childhood companion to Aaron. More beloved than blood daughters, oh. This would be delicious. 3 days post-wedding. Scarlet dragged Aaron back to the Johnson estate. The gatekeeper barred them. The patriarch recognizes only one unwed daughter here. Scarlet flushed crimson. Madame Zhao is my mother. How dare you? Concubines aren't proper mistresses. The guard scoffed. Servants can use the side gate. He gestured to a filthy alley. When father forgives me, I'll have your skin. Scarlet shrieked. The man smirked. You're struck from the records, just Harrison's whore now. Forced through the alley. Aaron's face darkened at the jeering crowd. Why must I endure this farce? He stormed off, leaving Scarlet torn between chasing him or visiting Madame Zhao. Meanwhile, Madame Zhao awaited her son-in-law's ceremonial visit. Spotting me, she preened despite her haggard state. Flatter me, girl. Perhaps I'll make you Scarlet's handmaid. I feigned surprise. Didn't you hear? Your daughter got turned away today. Your precious son-in-law abandoned her at the side gate. Oh. And Jade becomes Marchioness next week, the Chief Justice's daughter. You know. As she spluttered, I left her clutching the barred gate. On Jade's wedding day, I ensured Madame Zhao slipped through that same side gate. The Harrisons played their farce well, claiming the previous ceremony had been for a concubine. With this union, the officiant began. I pronounce. Wait! Every head turned as Madame Zhao swept in. Moonlight silk fluttering. My daughter wed you days ago. Why degrade her? Jade ripped off her veil. Who dares? Aaron's jaw clenched, another wedding interrupted. The cycle continues. You once swore to love only Scarlet. Promised her the position of your lawful wife. Tricked her into intimacy. Manipulated her into betraying the Johnson family through that sham marriage substitution, and now you've destroyed her reputation only to wed another woman? How could you do this to Scarlet? Mrs. Johnson wailed hysterically, her dramatic sobs drawing stares from the crowd. Aaron's face darkened. Jade stepped forward sharply. Your daughter lacked virtue. Seducing her own cousin with daily love poems. A twice-divorced woman, who knows what indecencies got her cast out. Probably inherited her promiscuous mother's tricks. No respectable girl would allow a man into her chambers before marriage. If she hadn't consented, how would the Marquis have entered her bedroom? You raised this disgrace who shamed the Harrison family, yet dare accuse the Marquis of wrongdoing? As the Marchioness, I'm merciful to even let her stay. Cause more trouble, and I'll have the divorce papers drawn tomorrow. She snapped her fingers. Guards! Remove this nuisance. Mrs. Johnson was gagged and dragged away. That evening, Jade waited in vain during what should have been her wedding night. Growing suspicious, She ventured into the gardens with her maid, only to find Scarlet clinging to Aaron beneath the moonlit archway, tearfully murmuring, "I didn't mean to interrupt your wedding night, I just needed to see you one last time before the Marchioness forbids it." Her trembling fingers traced his jaw. "You know how frightened I get sleeping alone. Could you stay until I drift off?" Aaron succumbed instantly, sweeping her toward her chambers. Jade's nails dug bloody crescents into her palms as her governess restrained her, whispering urgently about long-term strategies. When Aaron finally returned at midnight, Jade welcomed him with honeyed obedience, cementing his delusion of domestic bliss. Next morning, Scarlet arrived late for the wives' tea ceremony. "My apologies, Marchioness," she simpered, adjusting her shawl to display love bites. "My lord comforted me so thoroughly last night." Jade smiled serenely. "Think nothing of it. Though you should release him earlier next time, those new concubines need attention too if we're to expand the Harrison lineage." "New concubines?" Scarlet's cup clattered. Jade gestured to her two buxom maids. "Meet Jade Ink and Jade Chess. They'll join us as concubines in 3 days. Such fertile stock, I've had their diets optimized for conception." The maids curtsied demurely as the Dowager Marchioness beamed at her daughter-in-law's generosity. Months later at a garden party, society matrons tittered as Scarlet trailed behind Jade like a whipped dog. "Why bring that barren creature?" a friend hissed. Jade shrugged. "The Marquis dotes on her. Pity she's as infertile as last season's wheat." Her hand drifted to her swollen belly. "Though perhaps my child will inspire her to finally release his attention." When I entered, Scarlet lunged toward me with a tearful sister. I sidestepped coldly. "Address me properly, Concubine Johnson." My friend loudly whispered to Jade, "Beware that viper. She poisoned her own sister's marriage." Jade patted her stomach meaningfully. "Oh, I'd have fought tooth and nail." She suddenly gagged, prompting cheers about her delicate condition. Aaron came running to cradle her bump, Scarlet's jealous glare burning holes in the festive scene. "Men value heirs above mistresses," I remarked. "Perhaps consult a physician about your infertility, Concubine Johnson." "Stay out of my affairs," she spat. By winter, Jade's pregnancy had bloated her into a spotted whale. When they entered my jewelry shop, Aaron stared transfixed at my moonlit gown. "You look, well, Ivy." Jade wheezed through her chins, still unmarried. "Miss Peter? Pining for my husband?" Scarlet sneered. "His lordship frequents your old shop, perhaps hoping to recapture." I laughed, spinning to display my engagement rubies. "How provincial. I'm here designing bridal sets. Father's arranged a splendid match." "Do enjoy your shopping." Aaron cried out hoarsely. "You're getting married?" I turned sharply. "Yes. If your lordship has time. Don't forget to attend the wedding banquet." Without sparing them another glance, I boarded the carriage outside. Behind me, Scarlet's mocking voice carried, "His lordship claims he doesn't care for her? Then why this panic?" Aaron snapped. "What right does a mere concubine have to question me? You two keep wasting time with your endless shopping. I've official business to attend to." Laughter bubbled in my throat as the carriage rolled away. All their pretty vows and sweet nothings meant nothing in the end. That incident sparked my suspicions about Jade's alarmingly difficult pregnancy. My discreet inquiries revealed the truth. Scarlet had been obtaining dubious prescriptions through the Johnson family's matriarch. "Use sparingly," the old woman had whispered. "A few doses will bloat any expectant mother until the child grows too large for delivery." Jade's sudden weight gain explained everything. Now I understood why my previous life's pregnancy had ballooned like an overfilled water skin. The next morning brought gilded boxes from Harrison Manor, silver hairpins crafted with my favorite mimosa blossoms. The servant announced, "Marquis Harrison sends these for the young miss." 4 days. Jewelry, bolts of silk, and jade carvings flooded our estate until I finally packed everything back onto their carriage with a terse message, "My betrothed handles such matters. The Marquis concern is unnecessary." Scarlet's shrill accusations echoed through the halls later. I sacrificed my reputation for you. Gave up everything. Now you shower gifts on Ivy? Regretting choosing this barren woman? Her voice cracked. You promised to wed only me. Yet took Jade and now pursue Ivy. What am I to you? Jade seized the opportunity to sneer. Know your place. Concubine. A breeding mare dares challenge her better? Scarlet shoved her rival. Eyes blazing. Breeding mare? Aaron finds you repulsive. He'll discard you after the brat's born. Enjoy being his political pawn while it lasts. The violent push sent Jade sprawling. Shrieking contractions began immediately. Chaos engulfed Harrison Manor. The midwife paled at Jade's distended belly. This needs a physician's care. Scarlet blocked the door. No men shall see the mistress indecent. Deliver the child yourself. With Aaron away and the matriarch praying at temple, Scarlet's authority held. Jade's agonized screams filled the chamber. The babe's too large. Position wrong. The midwife wailed. Why let her grow so immense? Scarlet dismissed the servants, approaching the weakening woman with surgical shears. His lordship's orders save the heir at all costs. Why you wouldn't dare? Jade gasped. Who'll stop me? Scarlet pressed a hand over Jade's mouth. The child will call me mother soon, Eno. The door exploded inward. Aaron's boot sent Scarlet crashing into the wall. Blood spraying from her lips. Treacherous witch. Fetch the physician. But hours of delay proved fatal. Surgeons extracted a squalling infant from Jade's lifeless body. Aaron stared at the carnage. Trembling. Why? He dragged Scarlet up by her hair. Why? Laughter bubbled from her bloody mouth. Now we can be a true family. My love. I'll sell off your concubines. Just us three forever. Mad woman. He flung her to the floor. Guards! Take this murderess to the magistrates. Scarlet shrieked as they gagged her. I'm your lawful wife. First Lady of Harrison Manor. Unhand me. Her protests faded into the distance, leaving only the newborn's cries echoing through the bloodstained chamber. Scarlett Johnson was sentenced to execution after the autumn harvest for conspiring to murder the Marchioness of the South. She begged to see Aaron one last time before her death. Aaron went to the prison cell where she was held. She clutched desperately at his sleeve, pleading, Aaron, save me. He gently pulled his arm away. Your execution is decreed. No one can save you now. I'll soon remarry and won't visit again. Stop sending messages. He produced a document from his pocket. This divorce decree severs all ties between you and the Harrison family. Scarlet stared blankly at the paper. You discard me like this? Our house cannot harbor venomous serpents. Aaron replied coldly. Mad laughter erupted from Scarlet, growing increasingly hysterical. In one swift motion, she yanked the hairpin from her chignon and plunged it into Aaron's throat. Blood arced across the stone floor as they collapsed him outside the bars. Her within their lifeblood mingling in crimson pools. When guards discovered them, both already lay breathless. I learned of this tragedy on my wedding morning. Mother informed me Madame Johnson had been driven mad by grief, sent to spend her remaining days at our ancestral retreat. Through the window I watched willow catkins drift like spring snow. Another year had turned. The past settled like dust, making way for new beginnings.